Hey everyone, it's Erin here, and in this video I want to talk about something that I am pretty passionate about, and that is living a sustainable and environmentally conscious lifestyle. I am hoping that this video will be the first in a series where I share with you my journey into transitioning into a more sustainable and ultimately plastic-free lifestyle. Growing up in the United States, convenience is everything. There is a massive chain store for everything you might possibly want, and I grew up in a consumer culture where you buy something that's not meant to last for a long time, but it's okay because you'll throw it away and just get another one. The truth is, this convenience that I grew up with is super wasteful and not fair to anybody living on this planet. It really wasn't until a few years ago where I started to notice that push towards a more sustainable lifestyle. These images of surfers surfing in a sea of trash, islands made up of plastic and trash just floating out in the ocean, overflowing landfills, all of that sent up a huge red flag to a lot of people that what we're doing right now has to change if we want our planet to continue to be healthy for future generations. For those of you who this is completely new to, please do not be intimidated or shrug it off like it doesn't matter. It's an ongoing process that I'm still trying to work on, and also trying to get my family and friends on board as well. You do not need to eliminate all plastic items from your life right this second, as long as you're conscious of how much you waste every day, what exactly you're using on a daily basis, and try to cut that back. I think little by little we can start to make really impactful and meaningful changes in our daily lifestyles, which will add up to a grander scale. I've been reading up on how to implement these small but meaningful changes in your daily lives, and I want to share them with you. For household and everyday items, consider swapping them out for more sustainable options. For example, I switched out my plastic dental floss that I used to go to Target and buy, so no more of that. I bought a silk floss in a glass bottle. The silk floss can be composted, and the glass bottle can be reused for more silk floss, or if I want to recycle that, that is an option as well. I also swapped out my plastic toothbrushes that I used to get at Target for bamboo toothbrushes, which I order online or buy at a farmer's market. So the lifespan of a toothbrush should be brush your teeth for like 3 to 4 months. Then you can use that toothbrush around the house cleaning things like tiles or hard to reach corners. And once it's completely wrecked after like a year of use, you can finally compost the handle and pull out the bristles to be put in the landfill. So that is what I am trying with my toothbrushes now. I'm trying to get my entire family to swap out their plastic toothbrushes, but it's a process. So when I was in Byron Bay last winter in Australia, I went to a farmer's market and bought this bamboo Toiletries bento box, which I love and have been using for every single one of my trips. So inside, I keep my bamboo toothbrush in this really cute little toothbrush holder, and I've got toothpaste tablets in a tin cup, which I bought from Lush Cosmetics. I have a shampoo bar and a bar conditioner, as well as typical bar of soap. And I have a wooden comb, travel size glass vials from one of my favorite brands, Ocean Essentials, where I can keep my charcoal face wash and my face oils. So it has everything I need in there. Now moving on to kitchen items. I have completely gotten rid of plastic cling wrap in my house and instead use beeswax cling wrap or Tupperware. I firmly believe that you do not need plastic cling wrap to keep your food fresh. I have been using glass Tupperwares as well as that beeswax cling wrap to keep food nicely stored and fresh in the refrigerator. Never buy or use plastic water bottles anymore. I have a hydro flask, which I bring with me absolutely everywhere, so no plastic bottles. My dad used to love buying those like 24-pack plastic bottles at the grocery store, which I completely banned. I told him we're not doing that anymore, and I bought him a hydro flask for him to use as well. So he's been using that, and our household no longer buys plastic bottles anymore, which little victory for me over there. When it comes to buying produce, ideally I like to buy them loose from the farmer's market. So I will bring my own mesh bags and farmer's market bags or market bags. So instead of having to buy my produce in plastic containers, like you know how berries at the store come in plastic boxes, I like to buy them in little farmer's market boxes, or just buy the fruit whole and put it in my mesh bag so that I use absolutely no plastic. And when I go to the farmer's market, I make sure to buy things that are not wrapped in plastics. So for example, I boycott places where the flowers are sold with plastic instead of the paper, which can be composted and recycled. And I also boycott any farmers markets that sell their items in plastic containers as well. So speaking of bringing your own things, I have 2 sets of cutlery that I like to bring with me whenever I go out. I just keep it in my bag in case I get food from somewhere, so I don't have to use their plastic straws and utensils. I also ordered biodegradable trash bags as well as biodegradable poop bags for when I'm walking my dog, so that it can all break down naturally when it goes to landfill. Moving on to gardening. In a perfect ideal world, everyone would have their own backyard garden where they could just live off of what they grow. Unfortunately, we do not have the time or sometimes the space to have this kind of garden, so obviously it's not an ideal perfect world. But since I love to exercise my green thumb and I just love working with plants, being out in nature, so I do have a backyard garden that I am currently hanging out in right now. And obviously I can't grow all of the fruits and vegetables that I like to eat on a daily basis, but I do grow strawberries, tomatoes of every variety from like this big to this big, and I've got jalapenos, green onions, and then my personal favorite part is my hanging herb garden, which I just made the other day. So that way I don't have to go to the store and buy a $3 plastic carton of herbs that usually tend to just go to waste in the fridge. So instead, I can just go outside, pick what I need from the garden, and it's free. I've also got a compost bin that I keep in my garden area where I recycle kitchen food scraps. I love the whole concept of not having to waste anything from your kitchen and instead using this waste, put it in the compost bin where eventually it will produce a nutritious foundation where you can grow your future fruits and vegetables. Moving on to my personal items such as makeup, skincare, and clothing. I only like to use brands that are vegan, cruelty-free, and sustainably packaged. Some of my favorite skincare brands are Osea Malibu and Ocean Essentials. And then the same goes for makeup. Recently I've been using 100% pure makeup and Au Naturel. So clothing. I think that it's important to wear and choose clothing brands that are ethically made and made from sustainable materials. And it makes sense to do this both financially and ethically, and I'll tell you why. If we choose to purchase our clothing with thought and intention, we ultimately spend less because we'll waste less. If you stop spending $10 here and there on a cheap dress that you got from whatever fast fashion brand, and instead use that money to buy more meaningful pieces that do tend to be a little bit more expensive, then you will build up a wardrobe of ethical fashion where you will love every single one of your pieces. This way you won't throw away your cheap items when they start to get holes in them or shrink or wrinkle or you get sick of them. That way you can have a wardrobe that you will enjoy for years and years. So anyway, I hope this video inspires you to make little changes just in your everyday life, and after a while these changes will become bigger and you will be more conscious about the part you are playing in this planet. So that's it for this video. I will link below some of the products that I use for your reference, as well as a few accounts that have given me inspiration in transitioning into a plastic-free and more sustainable way of living. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.